The kingdom of Felangard is in turmoil. Dragons have returned to these peaceful shores, summoned by this majestic looking feline. I am but a lowly kitty cat, but this mark on the back of my head indicates a greater destiny that I am yet to realize. To complete 100% of Cat Quest, I need to fulfill my purpose by defeating these wretched flying lizards. I need to explore every single dungeon in my path, whilst slaying every beast that stands in the way of my mighty paws, all the while helping as many cats as I can within the kingdom of Felangard. But this story begins on a shaky little boat in the middle of the ocean with my sibling, when suddenly this majestic floating cat kidnaps my sister. He makes her disappear, and then he does some more magic stuff and a bunch of dragon shadows fly overhead. As if I'm not impressed by this display of prowess already, he then proceeds to overkill my tiny boat with a huge bolt of magic power. Maybe he's not that great after all, because I, a lowly cat, survived that encounter. As I cling to a piece of floating debris, unbeknownst to me, a mark starts to appear on the back of my head, and a little fairy type thing flies towards me. Perhaps it's my guardian angel. I wake up on a beach, and I get my first glimpse at the play on words this game throws at you. Feline guard. Feline guard or felon guard. As I giggle myself silly, that spirit thing does say it's my spirit guardian, and that its name is Spiri, and that dragons have returned, and we must scurry to a town quickly. Like any noob, I quickly demonstrate some super cat-like prowess by getting used to the controls in this game. A monster shows up, and I quickly beat it senseless with my sword. Another foul creature emerges, but this one has an area of attack. As you can see, an area beneath them slowly expands until they are ready to unleash their attack. It's my job to be outside of that zone when they have powered up these attacks. Combat works like this in Cat Quest. You have to avoid standing in the fire. It looks like at towns with this type of building I can catnap, and this also saves the game. That's the catnap? Just plumps himself on the ground. Spiri suggests we go see a mage and find out what this mark on the back of my head means. I was keen to explore, but these boundary lines seem to be guiding my paws with this tutorial. Currently my stats at level 1 are 40 health, 5 attack and 5 magic, which is the last one I think. I then get distracted by more play on words. The capital. It's a bit of a tongue twister, I like it. The mage notices the mark on the back of my head and says that this is the mark of the dragon blood, the fabled dragon slayers that vanished many years ago. But this is good, this means that I am able to learn magic. Mage Kitty takes me inside this temple and I learn my first spell, called Flame Purr. It burns enemies and weakens the defense. Also offensive capabilities. This is what it looks like, by the way. It seems I can spend money to make my spells even stronger, which I'll do later. I test out my new prowess on some weird looking hedgehogs. Indeed, I apply a flame dot on them and my attacks do slightly higher damage as well. Fantastic. What's also great is I've reached level 2 already. I'm surely a special dragon kitty. Speaking of dragons, there's this weird ritual circle and a dragon appears from it. My first epic confrontation of Cat Quest begins. I attack, blast the serpent with fire and dodge its own attacks, getting hit in the process, but I eventually defeat this mighty beast and Spiri is in awe and he finally sees I am indeed the dragon blood. Took an arrow to the paw. Moving on. The kittens, no longer hiding from that dragon, all come out to admire my heroic work. Even King Leonardo reveals himself from his throne room. But the jovial mood is ruined by him when he suddenly orders everyone to return to their homes. The king gives me one silent glare before leaving my sight. The king was acting weird. Spiri congratulates me at least on a awesome job, and I have reached level 3. He also states some obvious facts, and then suggests we go check out the notice board for some quests. Before I do that, I pull out some amazing cat reflexes. Look at my moves. Like the video and subscribe if you think I have the moves. I then zoom out on the world map and I see the land of Felangard I'm yet to explore. I check out this quest board. The dragons have come. Stay away from Cave Grotto. Nyan. Well, I will ignore this and I will clearly go there. Spiri also says that White Cat, referring to this guy, must be part of this mess. On my way to this cave grotto, I kill some things. Always assume I'm attacking anything moving as I travel between objectives. I go inside this cave and I am liking this. My mission is simple, destroy everything inside. I loot any chests I come across as well. The sound effect is very loud when I do this, so I'm going to spare your eardrums from this assault. I find my first armor, Knight's armor, which I suit up for more protection. I need this because I encountered baby dragons. Even they fall swiftly to my flaming sword. No sign of my sister and that white cat, so we pour out of there. But not before grabbing this knight's sword from the other chest. I'm looking fully equipped by now. Luckily, because outside I see that white cat. I charge him, but he stops me in my tracks, asking how a spec like me defeated his dragon. No matter, he will destroy me now, he claims. An epic battle. An early one, but I deal some blows to him and I take a blow myself. The white cat falls, disappears, and then reappears again. I fought a clone, which he used but a slither of his power to make. He recognizes my mark and says it must be the source of my power. He introduces himself as Dracoth. If I want to see my sister again, I have to follow him. He makes himself invisible to the lesser cats as he calls them. He brags about his power. Even the king inside quivers in fear. Am I like the other worthless cats, he asks. No, I'm different, he concludes. And because of that, he wants to play a game with me. I am to gain more power, rise above the rest of the kittens, defeat the dragons he has summoned, and only then will he free my sister. What a generic villain, Sperry exclaims. But Dracoth replies with, aren't those the easiest to hate? Sperry says our mission is set, we know what we have to do. Oh, by the way, my guy never says a word. Sperry is my voice to everyone else, it seems. He suggests we go and gear up for the adventures ahead. We speak to Kit Kat, who is Felonguard's only blacksmith. Inside, there are 2 chests, one worth 50 gold and another worth 5,000 gold. I pay either price to roll for some gear, meaning it's completely random. So I do roll for some gear. I get a ranger vest and I don't really want to swap it for my current armor. Not really a fan of the random item generator, so I'm going to pass spending more money like this. We need to find a watchtower as they would be able to tell us where those dragons are. I go catnap first. I see another quest over there, the King's Mage, and it's a level 2 quest. I am level 4, so I'm good for this. This will put the main quest on hold, so yeah, why not? The dragons aren't going anywhere. Apparently that prick of a king is under a curse, and the mages want to help him. But the mages seem to have misplaced their head mage, and my mission is to find him first, because he knows what happened, but has mysteriously disappeared. They are tracking this missing feline, and there are several locations pinging on the map. Before I move out, I upgrade my fire spell to rank 2 for some extra oomph. I try out this extra oomph on some hapless squirrel things along the way, of course. At my first location, I find a half-buried potion flask. This vial contains magical energy, but no mage, so I need to investigate the other locations. Zooming out gives me a pinpoint of the next marker, which is guarded by several things I need to eliminate before getting on with it. I make sure to vanquish them all, and I find another half-buried potion flask. I have one more location to explore, and I find another potion here, and they all seem to have this magical energy, but no head mage anywhere. I bring these potions to this fella, and he says these contain the energy of the head mage. They need time to investigate this. He gives me my first head slot armor, which is a mage hat, and it blocks my vision. Classic. I check the board again, and the next quest for that mage is level 8. Seeing as I'm level 5, I have to grow stronger first. On my way to that watchtower, I see this level 5 loot cave. I can't miss this. I clear this place and I see some new creatures in here with different attacks with varying ranges. So it becomes more complicated to dodge their attacks and take the offensive. But my reward is several chests. But I can't open this final chest. Spirit says I need to get a key to unlock this golden chest. Okay, fair enough. I cleared the entire place, but I don't find a key. I guess it's not here. When I leave, I see this cave has a golden chest icon, which indicates that there's unlooted treasure inside. Anyways, the Watchtower Kitty says he saw a dragon all the way on the other side of the map. So I start trekking my way over there. I take one road and it's a dead end. There is a harbor here, but I need to go around. However, I can't see the dragon from here though. I finally reached my destination. Spirit says, hey, hold up, are you sure about this? Which is kind of a bad omen. He recommends doing some side quests first to become stronger, which sounds fair. However, I've come this far, so why not give it a go? What's the worst thing that could happen? You can't leave now? Right, well. Don't worry guys, I've reached level 7, it's fine. I mean, I am able to kill the whelps, but when it comes down to the big boy, he does knock me down. Well, I have made a huge tiny little mistake. And I die. Okay, yeah, so I wake up at my last save point, which is convenient. So I need to become stronger, it seems. But I also bite off more than I can chew, which is kind of embarrassing. Oh my god. This other cat explains why though. The further north I go, the stronger the enemies become. Okay, that's good to know. So back south at the capital, there are a few quests I can do here to become stronger. I'm level 8 now and I can continue this mage quest from before. Their investigation revealed that a spell was cast on the head mage, that his energy is now within these flasks, separate from him. They made a potion I need to give to him to restore his memory. I travel to my first location where the head mage might be, but there's no one here, only tracks that I can follow, which leads me through another play on words. Welcome to the Puss Plains. Oh, that's funny. My running eventually reveals a random town cat that seems unresponsive. I help force him drink this potion and this does restore his memory and he transforms back into his magical self. He knows that a white cat cursed the king and he lost his magic trying to save him. He will let me know what can be done, but he needs some time to think about this. I have to wait until I'm level 12 it seems. So in the meantime I head to Mewtown and I pick up this quest called the Growling Peasant. Someone is looking for help to find their mother, this fella's mother, though he starts the conversation with a deep growl. He says a mage is making a spell to help him find her, but he's missing a special metal for this spell. He roars as he tells me where this location is. Weird bloke. I head to the seaside cave, do my thing inside, which is fighting 4 foxes at the same time. And when I've cleared the place, a pop-up says I find a strange metal helmet, which is what I'm looking for I guess. I have a feeling that this peasant is up to no good because he asked for this metal. In fact, when I give him this helmet, he slips up saying the helmet will help him, which he quickly corrects himself to saying it's actually for his mother. Anyways, back at the board, I see the next quest for that guy, the catnip ritual. The peasant says his mother is trapped in a curse. We must conduct a catnip ritual to break it. So I go to some random locations and sprinkle some catnip for this upcoming ritual. He asks me to stand in the circle and he gives a very convincing growl. At which point I am ambushed by heaps of monsters, which I quickly deal with as I am the dragon blood. Oi mate, what do you think you're doing? That was dangerous. I'll have your whiskers for this peasant. He reassures me that wasn't supposed to happen. He will be in contact again soon. At least completing these side quests gives me experience to level up and a little bit of gold. But a third quest for this fella, yeah sure, there's nothing suspicious with him. The mage found the next step to his mother's freedom. We're outside the capital and he asks me to run around a bunch that makes me look like a complete idiot. But this does create a new ritual site, so I prepare myself for another ambush, only to realize nothing is coming. I let Old Mate know and he agrees it all looks good, but I should come back again later. I do hit level 10 by this point, which is quite the milestone. He assures me his next quest is the last one. He needs me to go clear out this level 10 cave. Now that I'm level 10, I can indeed do that, but I hear something when I'm done. Alright, cleared. Fish sticks, what is happening? We need to get out of here. A noise from outside, but before I go back out, I find another cheeky chest here. But just like that other golden chest, I need a key to unlock it. I'm back outside and another ritual circle covers this cave and a trail which I follow. And it leads me to Old Mate standing here with that old helmet. He vanishes and I hear a roar. And something yelling it's free. A creature appears wearing that creepy helmet and then it vanishes. I go confront the peasant, but he seems to have no memory of everything that just happened. Looks like he was possessed and hearing voices. Not good. The fella says if he hears anything talking to him again, he will let us know. Probably when I'm level 15, according to this quest board. By now, I've saved over 700 gold pieces. I decide to upgrade my fire spell until it's level 4, which is excellent news. I head back to Kit Kat because she had some quests. She's looking for an apprentice, in fact. Spirit seems to be very excited about this opportunity. She says she's making a whole new armor. She has a shipment that has come in at Eastport, and we need to go collect it for her. Pickup boys, I guess. When I arrive at Eastport, I hear commotion. The port is under attack. I quickly obliterate any foul cretins attacking the area, and I ask about Kit's shipment. This bloke says he sent the shipment by carriage, and they haven't heard from it since. I have a load of tracks I can follow, but I see another magic tower here, and it looks like a new spell can be learned here. Too bad I'm 20 gold short. I'll come back later, I guess. There's a trail to follow right now, and it leads me to the Alpha Ruins. I find a new enemy inside, and I quickly discover their weakness. What the hell are these things? Goodness me. Yeah, they're definitely weak to magic, these guys. Excellent. Okay, that's fine. Spiri thinks the carriage was eaten by the monsters, meaning we have failed, so we have to let Kit know. Again, another golden chest I can't open. I'm going to stop pointing these out, but I'll be seeing heaps of these and I can't open them without a key, which I'll find much later. I report the loss to Kit. Turns out it was the new season of House of Parchments. I'm collecting DVD seasons for her. Well, work is work and she rewards me with XP. But wait, there's more. I can talk to her again. This time she says it's a crucial shipment she needs before moving on with this armor. It's in the capital. Unfortunately for me, when I arrive at the shop, the peasant tells me the bandits have stolen the package. Before I head there, I learn a new spell, Lightning, and it shoots lightning in 2 directions. Though I'll be honest, I prefer the round radius of the fire spell more. I fight my first cat bandits in the game. I clear this cave, but there's no sign of that shipment. I readjust my armor and weapons down here. I'm looking mighty fierce, but this fierce face softens when I have to tell Kit I have failed again. Somehow, I don't feel too bad when it's the last episode of the Pouncing Dead. Guilt is gone now, especially when I hit level 12. I'm not powerful enough for her level 20 quest, which is next however. I am strong enough to do the spirit quest, which was the mages trying to cure their cursed king. The curse is powered by spirit orbs. Destroy these orbs and the curse will dissipate. I hunt down this first orb, and a floating head thing appears above the ritual circle. The monster lays down a trap on the ground which I need to avoid. Here you can see me taking quite a beating, but I do defeat it and the orb shatters and disappears. The next one is in this cave, which is level 15, but that's okay, I'm a beast. I know what to expect with these floating head guys now, and that last orb is shattered. So I thought. Looks like the mages were wrong. The last one is within the king. I can't just simply neck the king, but Mage Kitty says he will extract it. When he's ready, he will let me know. As I'm running back, I get distracted by this quest in the village, the catnip cure. It's strange, the village is empty, but there's a quest board here. Anyways, this guy's sister is ill and he needs help. He needs herbal catnip. I go to the place where it grows, but I fall into a nasty ambush and I very nearly die. In this surprise attack, the catnip got all trampled. I failed. I seem to be following a pattern here. I see this suspicious looking cat on my way back. He wants me to stay away from the twin towns, and this is my final warning. I ignore this cretin and I get back to that house, only to see that it's abandoned, empty, and it looks like it has been for a very long time. We didn't imagine that, right? Spiri suggests we should go to the town on the opposite side of this one across the water. I do that, but something is really weird. I get the same quest here. It even says the catnip cure again. In fact, it looks like the same guy who's asking me for the same thing. We do this, but Spiri says maybe we can ambush the monsters this time. Indeed, it works, and I appear from the bushes and ambush the ambushers. The catnip didn't get trampled this time, so that's a success. I'm about to see that cat in the opposite town when that strange mage appears again. He's still warning me away from these towns, though he gives me a hat and says that is my final warning. The peasant is gone again, but Spiri says this town is identical to the other one. There's a very powerful mirror curse at work here. The other side should be the next piece of the puzzle. The next quest is called The Nightmare. The peasant has turned up again and he thanks me for the catnip. But we never gave him the catnip because he wasn't here. He continues, it brought his sister's fever down and she seems to be sleeping. But having nightmares now and she keeps yelling about this night in her sleep. It might be a wraith, Spiri says. They enter dreams, but they also have a strong smell, so you can follow the physical being who's behind the nightmares. So I do follow this trail. I come across a new spell to learn as well called Healing Paw. This is going to be very helpful. I finally come across this wraith guy who sends a barrage of attacks at me, all of which I need to dodge before going in for the kill. Awesome work, Spiri says as we wave that wraith goodbye. I can't seem to say goodbye to this mage though. He's still trying his best to dissuade me, saying to leave her alone. Odd. The house is again empty. Maybe someone has cursed this whole town after all. I go to the other side. You know the drill, it's the same quest. Before I get to that wraith, old mate here begs me to stop, saying it's all that he has left of her. Before I could take this in, he summons a bunch of powerful monsters. I do defeat them and that wraith outside this time. On the way back, we see a magical memory of that peasant cat. Sister, I'm so sorry. I couldn't save you. If only I had the courage to use that book. And then disappears. Methinks you did use that book, kitty cat. But I have to grow in power before coming back to this. Remember that roaring peasant who was trying to save his mother? I'll pick this back up. I speak to him and he says that voice spoke to him again and said his name was Drakoth and that he's waiting for me at Puss Plains. It's time to save my sister. When I arrive, there's just a wraith-looking guy. Spirit says it feels like a dragon. He asks if I'm here to end his suffering. I shall oblige, I guess? I underestimate the boundary wall I cannot cross and nearly eat the dust because I get trapped, but I do defeat him. It thanks me, saying that Drakov trapped him here because he was too weak. He can finally rest in peace now, and he leaves me this sick looking helmet. Yeah, looks pretty good on me. I take a nap in the closest town and I see that there's a quest for me, the strange charm. I pluck this charm off the board and I ask the peasants about this, but I just get silent glares. Spirit investigates this charm and detects a magical trail that we can follow. It leads us to a similar looking charm but etched into the ground. I'm ambushed by several monsters, including dragons. After dealing with my foes, I investigate this charm again, only to spot a peasant woman who seems to be charmed by the charm. She's insistent that I give it to her, so I do the logical thing and I toss it into the water. It breaks her from the charm spell. She has no memory of coming here and she just wanders off. Spirit suggests someone is using this charm to lure cats to the town. I don't make it back though. I get distracted by this quest, the East Suspicion in Eastport. I meet this cat called Whiskers, who's the chef in town. In fact, she's releasing her new dish, the fish casserole. Her problem though is that she saw someone sneaking around, possibly trying to steal her recipe. So I do the classic hide in the bushes until the offending individual appears. When I question him, he runs away, leaving a big fat trail for me to follow. I finally catch up to him. He explains himself. He is Chef Furry Paws from Westport, and Whiskers is his sister. They have a friendly culinary rivalry, but something has been wrong lately. She's been acting like she doesn't even know her own brother. Something might be up and we agree to meet up in Westport. I get distracted again on my way there by a quest called Meat, Meat, Meat. As soon as I pick it up, a ravenous kitty is behind me yelling she made the quest, that a merchant had sold the town delicious meat, and they really want more. I agree to get them some more meat. So I hunt down these hedgehog things because apparently this meat will suffice. Maybe not. A lot more kitties have shown up, supposedly waiting for the meat. I almost took too long. She says they almost wanted to eat me, but it was just a joke. A harmless joke. 5 seconds later, I see what I had supplied was clearly not enough. They want more meat. They had the outside monster meat, and now they want the cave monster meat. They again threaten to eat me if I don't hurry. I don't think they're joking. I find these chunky behemoths down here, so I think this will do. But the number of cats have grown considerably. Oh my god. I bring you meat, people of the north. Once all these ravenous cats leave, a single cat calls me over. She introduces herself as Red, the only sane town cat left, and she demands I stop giving them meat. Spirit whines that if we do, we're going to be eaten, so Red decides that we need to get them back to normal. She says it all started with that merchant. We'll be in touch shortly. In fact, 5 seconds later, a quest called Meat Disposal Crew is available. So in that 5-second window, she was able to grab all of that weird meat without those rabbit cats knowing. We thought she would throw them all away, which is the plan, but she wants me to throw them all away. Okay, very well. I am also lazy, so I dump it all behind the bushes and around the town. I also dump some into the deep forest, which I've been advised to avoid, which I'll soon learn why. Oh wow! Okay, I regret coming into this forest. I just got hit for 125. That guy nearly one-shotted me. Goodness gracious. I go back to the town, but I don't see Red anywhere. Meat! From the houses, monsters appear. Did the town cats turn into monsters? I meet up with Red again, who seems a little bit disappointed to see me. She says she saw them all transform and it must have been the merchant's meat. She will think of something. But when I get a message on the board later, she says the merchant is coming. It looks like there has been a struggle where Red usually hangs out. A trail soon reveals itself. On the way there, I learn a few new levels of my fire spell. It's level 6 now. The trail leads me past Westport, so that's good news for that cooking quest guy I can visit after this. Anyways, I catch up with Red, who again is disappointed to see me. How am I still alive? It's revealed that she was the merchant. Drakov put her up to this and promised her riches. She then starts roaring and transforms into one of those chunky behemoths, and I'm forced to bring her down. Maybe she ate the meat too. I guess curiosity killed the cat. Now while I'm up here, I pick up that Westport quest. Allmate says his sister and him are rivals, but they are still very close. She started to ignore him when she created a new recipe. He had found out the routes of her suppliers, and we need to find out what they are carrying. I find one such cat in the bushes and I ask him if he's the supplier. He doesn't answer me, he just bolts like a cheetah. I catch him though and I ask him where the chest is, and he points at the water. He must have tossed it into the water. It's gone. The delivery man is also gone. I don't know what happened to him. I report my failure to Furry Paws, so we have no choice but to ask Whiskers ourselves. I go talk to her and she's actually in need of some help. Apparently her delivery guys are scared because her previous one went missing. I wonder what happened. I'm her new delivery pickup guy, I guess, but I will need some palladium for the payment. So I go and destroy everything in a cave and I magically find palladium that way. Maybe because these ores are magical, I think that's how it works. I meet up with the supplier, I give him his magical ores, he disappears, and I'm left alone with this chest. So I think about opening it, but then Whiskers pops out of nowhere saying that I was taking too long. Sperry says we only wanted what's inside. Whiskers says this is not possible, but Sperry starts to do a little prodding until Whiskers snaps. Well, that was not the reaction I wanted. When she leaves, Sperry says something is weird with her. Nah, you think? I pass this knowledge to Allmate at Westport. We say she's very protective of her stuff, but we don't mention her roar, which would probably have been the better thing to convey. We have to find out what she's hiding. Sperry has an idea. The grand plan is to leave some catnip around Eastport and pretend that a bunch of wyverns are coming because they love catnip as well. We try to cause some panic in the town. We point out the catnip lying around and everyone starts to flee in terror. Whiskers isn't so easily intimidated. We tell her that she needs to flee as well, and we literally have to yell at her to make her take shelter. Now Furry Paws quickly comes by to steal that chest, and I need to get rid of all that catnip. However, I'm too late. I have to indeed fight a bunch of wyverns, but this has made a big enough distraction so Furry Paws can make his daring escape. A few moments later, all of Whiskers' customers look really puffed up and agitated. Of course they are, says Whiskers. They want her casserole and her supply chest is missing. She says she tried to find the tracks, but these eyes are useless. We point out, don't you mean your eyes? She demands I track down the thief and leave a trail for her to follow. So I do exactly that. I make a few detours and go check out some lovely bushes and maybe some ruins, and I try to take as long as possible to give Allmate time to escape to Westport. In fact, I lead it to the lake and I say I lost the trail, and I get the response I was expecting. I think I done f***ed up. She says thank you for my efforts before stomping away in a huff. I meet up with Furry Paws, but we can't open this chest. There seems to be some kind of magic that protects it. We have to ask a mage to unlock this. So I go and see a mage kitty who says it's locked with a palladium based spell, and we will need matured palladium to break it. But guess where this route takes me? The item then? The forbidden... Oh, you're not joking me. Do you see all those things? Looks dangerous indeed. So dangerous I decide to circumvent it, because I'm a coward. Well, a coward gets his just desserts. Oh, I just died. I arrive at my destination and I ask myself something. Oh god, are you serious? Level 60? The game was serious, but luckily I find what I'm looking for at the entrance of the cave. A Sperry dares me to go in, but try not to die. 5 seconds later, I nearly die and I run for my life. Ah! Okay, yeah, now that... Leave! With my tail between my legs, I give the mage the matured palladium. He does his thing and he says the spell will take a little bit to do its thing, so I can take it to Furry Paws in the meantime, which I do, and I let him know it'll open up in due time. He's thankful and he asks me to check up on his sister. I just turned level 25, so I'm powerful enough to do this. Hey buddy. One-shotted. Oh, that's funny. As if that wasn't incredible enough, I continue to upgrade my fire spell. It's level 8 now. I then make a quick detour south to see if those mages are ready to extract that orb from the king. As the head mage is inside, I stop anything from preventing the ritual and fight some monsters outside. But the head mage appears. He's being controlled by Dracoth. I make sure to quickly backhand the Dracoth out of him. He thanks me for this beating, of course. And the king is now safe. He gives me a reward for saving him, and he bestows upon me his family jewels. He gave me his family jewels. I entrust my family jewels to you, young Dragonblood. Thank you for this. With these family jewels, I go visit Kit, and she needs one last piece to make that armor I was helping with before. She needs a special ore from a cave. Easy enough. So I thought. I get to the cave and I find a torn note on the ground. Oh, looks like some bandits have already snatched what I was looking for. I see the offending individual I'm looking for, beat some sense into him, but I was too late. He sent the oars across the lake already. Once I get across, I'm ambushed by some more bandits. I get my oars from them and another note. With the TV show and now the oars, I, the bandit king, can finally pronounce my love for Kit. Nothing can... Oh no. No way, a competitor. I think Sperry might be jealous. Well, I care about this armor, so I give Kit the oars. Literally a second later, she's done with the armor. She gives it to me as a gift. It's pretty nice, it's got more health and attack. I go and see Whiskers again, and she suspects the West Cats are responsible, because they're always selling the same dishes as her. When we point out that her brother lives there, she responds with family means nothing, and she wants more cats. She demands we go search that town, but we don't see Furry Paws in the West. Apparently he went somewhere with suspicious cats. I don't know, do those cats look suspicious to you? Well, they don't look suspicious now, they've completely disappeared. I don't know what happened. Fairy Claus explains himself though, he was swayed and he wanted his dishes to be popular as well. The chest had tuna in it, which is very addictive to cats, and can be used for making your casserole dishes very tempting for kitties. Furry Paws still denies his sister is capable of this. We decide to make a plan and meet up later. He's found out that his sister is using tuna-addicted cats to carry out a ritual. We decide to crash this ritual. I pulled out an epic pro gamer move next. Oh, this doesn't look good, so I'm going to quickly go and have a nap while all these people are looking ready to cast a ritual. Oh no, the foe is approaching. Wait, what's that? He's going to take a nap. Give him time, people. Oh god. Okay. Holy fish casseroles, it's really a ritual. I confront Whiskers and it seems she has no memory as to why she's in a circle. But the dragon quickly repossesses her body and declares I can't stop her. Moments later, a giant dragon appears. Dracoth has sealed him away, but he says it was lucky a dragon whisperer that he could control was nearby. I then proceed to beat this dragon silly. All growls and no bite it seems. Anyway, so Whiskers is a dragon whisperer which allowed the dragon to control her mind to escape. The siblings are finally reunited, and that looks like a wrap up with this East and Westport quests. I'm back at the capital, and Leonardo tells me some soldiers have gone missing. He wants me to locate them. I go to their last known whereabouts, but I don't see anything, only a trail of papers. It's a report from the missing soldiers who are following a suspicious town cat. The trail ends, but I can see a couple of soldiers being held captive up there. In fact, the captors have set herb bait and are about to flee, leaving the soldiers tied up and a tasty morsel for monsters, which appears soon enough, so I deal with them saving these unfortunate cats. The soldiers say they were knocked out and they curse their crappy armor. Now, don't go blaming the armor, it's not the protective gear's fault. 2 soldiers are still missing and they might be at South Point. I find them shortly later and I free them from their bonds. They say their kidnappers are further on. I see them and they're actually a bunch of soldiers. They're declaring that the king's reign is over. They will wear this crappy armor and start a rebellion. They ask if I understand them. Lousy armor, low pay, high risk. Things are about to get ugly and I prepare myself. That's some really crappy armor. Yeah, oh wow. I just annihilated them. Let's go back and tell his furriness. Well, I hit level 30 after that massacre. I get back to the village that had a bunch of charmed people in it a while ago. Looks like someone is trapped in this house and needs help. He says his name is Meowgan. He's been trapped in this house and there's a barrier that is preventing him from escaping. Sperry senses a spell from inside this cave that's creating that barrier, keeping Meowgan imprisoned. I resort to violence to solve this problem, and I somehow dig up a charm. I go back and the guy is free. He bids me farewell and gives a very malicious laugh. I find another charm here and it has a powerful aura, which I can follow. I see this cat up here and I assume he's the one casting those charms to lure cats and trap them in the town. But then he asks me why I helped someone so evil. I'm about to fight him when he begs me to stop. He needs to find Meowgan before he destroys everyone. Wait, aren't you the evil one that trapped him? No, this is Mulin, a mage who doesn't let his power control him, like Meowgan does. He had sealed him because he became too dangerous. Mulin was also luring other cats there because the more cats, the stronger the seal to keep Meowgan there. Okay, sounds reasonable. We have to find him. Mulin will prepare a search spell. While I wait, I go and see Old Mate that gave me a hard time before, and I make sure to give him what's owed, a mace to the face. In short time, I knock him out. I then see my sister, but it's just an illusion, and Drakov appears in front of me. 2 dragons remain for me to defeat. The next one lies on water, he says. Sperry, however, has just left a tracker on Drakov, so we can follow him in secret. I see it's in the middle of the Forbidden Fields. I think I'm gonna wait before heading in there though. So I head back to that mage who's looking for Meowgan. Guess what though? He's at the Forbidden Fields. Okay. I confront Meowgan on the outskirts of those dangerous fields. He boasts about his new epic powers. Don't blink, you might miss it. Every hope. Annihilated, mate. That was easy. Now remember those weird quests in Twin Towns where it was like mirrored and there was a curse on the town making it look double? I got back to this now. The notice says the fella's looking for a book. He wants a guide. Maybe this book can lift the curse. But the peasant left without a guide. How silly of him. I can follow his trail though. It leads me to where I've been avoiding. Sperry says the monsters here are really strong. We find the location, but the peasant has already dug up the book. Chances are he has used this book and that's what caused the curse on the town. Maybe if we do this quest again and stop him from getting this book, we could change it. So of course I grab the quest again and I quickly run back and I retrieve the book this time. The Necroporticon, the book that revives the dead. The peasant must have tried to use this on his sister but accidentally cursed the town. So I run over there and we tell him not to do what he's going to do in the future. But then I get ambushed by that mage. He casts several clones to attack me and after a brief moment they are all defeated. Sperry then continues to tell the peasant that he can't save his sister, not with this book he's after, and he just has to accept her fate. The peasant finally gives in and he knows what has to be done. I see a message on the board. It's from that mage though, asking me to help him one more time. I go and meet him and he says we have probably guessed who he is. Yes, you're that peasant who tried to save his sister. He says he's been studying the Necroporticon for years and that it has changed him. He gives me some catnip and he asks me to bring it to his sister's grave so he can finally have some closure. I do this for him and he can finally rest in peace. I am rewarded with 2,000 gold pieces, which is awesome by the way. I'm back at the capital and looks like someone is trying to bait wyverns with catnip. The king wants me to investigate this as this is reckless behavior. I track this trail of catnip and I see a bunch of fellas up here. They ask me if I'm here for the initiation. Turns out they're dragon worshippers. We tell them it's dangerous to have wyverns with them, but the mage says relax, so long as he's concentrating on his barrier spell, they're safe and sound. That is until he sneezes and everything goes to pot rather quickly, and I mean really badly. I got a couple of bad luck hits on me and I very nearly died. But this should teach them not to go around worshipping wyverns. I then do some amazing acrobatics and dodge my way into this ruin in the middle of the Forbidden Fields to follow Drakov. I'm not seeing him in this cave, just a bunch of big hands, but when I leave I get sent into the abyss. In the void, I come across a humanoid shadow. They call themselves Alias, and this humanoid managed to infuse cats with dragon magic. They called their creation the Dragon Bloods. The Dragon Bloods were created by a human? When I return, Drakov appears and warns me from trying to follow him again. Spirit asks him, who is Alias? To which he responds with silence and just vanishes. No time to think about that, I make my daring escape. I travel to the north and see Kara Loft wants info on the Dragon Blood. Speak of the devil, she pops out of nowhere. She's an archaeologist and she's looking for a Dragon Blood treasure. She says I can have all the treasure. She's just interested in the history, which sounds fine by me. She has a book which belonged to the first Dragon Blood, my ancestor. It'll take us to the treasure, but a few pages are missing and I need to find those first. A short while later, I find the first page and I try to decipher it myself. Do-da-dee-da-dee-da-doo-da. Okay. That doesn't make any sense. After I beat up some monsters in a cave, I find the rest of the pages on the ground, but none of them make sense. I give these to Kara and she says she'll try to figure them out. While she does that, I learn Freeze Pull from this mage tower up here, a spell that I will never use. I return to Kara and she discovered that we need to get the Dragon Blood Codex to help her decipher the old book. Time to go tomb raiding according to her. So I do exactly that. I beat up some helpless monsters and I do get my paws on this codex. Now Kara doubted my ability, which quite frankly offends me. Get to work, Kara. When I return later, I find a note from her, saying if I'm reading this, then she's gone. Don't try to find me. Is she trying to nick my treasure, is she? I follow her trail and I come across some bandits near a piece of paper, and they slip the fact that they are also after this book. Maybe Kara isn't running from me, but these bandits. The piece of paper says, the cat with the white fur shows much potential and will be the first candidate. This is some of the translation she's been able to do from the book. The white cat is shunned, the others are jealous of his powers, and yet the white cat remains kind and loyal. I should ask for his name. I finally catch up with Kara. Indeed, the bandits were after her. She says she's nearly done deciphering the book. I will meet up with her again soon. I go and hit level 40 in a room because why not? So she's finally finished her job. She's just about to tell me what the treasure is when I get teleported out of there. I meet a bunch of wraith-looking fellows here. They introduce themselves as the Ancient Ones, the first Dragon Bloods. They say if I want their treasure, I need to prove myself. So I prove myself with a mace to the face to this poor dragon, who's been served up for lunch, at which point they all say their treasure is now mine. I teleport back to Kara, who's in mid-sentence, and she finishes with saying that the treasure is knowledge and experience. As I read the book for myself, it says something very interesting about the first Dragon Blood. First Dragon Blood. It's oh wow, I did not see that coming. Which means Drakoth is my ancestor. Maybe it's a different Drakoth. I also get 20,000 experience and went up 2 levels in an instant. I then make my way to Port City and I speak to this handsome looking cat. He's after some awesome research. He's looking for Puss, his right hand cat who's looking into water walking. It seems there's a monster out there in the water destroying all their boats. He says if we find Puss, he will show me how to water walk as well. I ask these cats and they say Puss is out researching in the middle of the Forbidden Fields. I find Old Mate here and he's studying how these monsters float. That's actually quite fair as he's trying to figure out how to walk on water. But once I tell him he's been gone for 3 days, he quickly bolts back home. At Port City, he shows me these ingredients and that we need to speak to some mages to ask them to mix them up for us. So I go and see a mage and he quickly whips up this concoction for me. I give this potion to Puss, who says this mixture needs to sit for a bit and then it will work. So we wait and figure out this potion will only work on someone who knows magic, aka me. With this water walking, I should be able to defeat that next dragon now. Before that, I do the town a massive favor by wrecking all of these monsters out here in the water that are destroying their boats and eating all of their fish. Justice. I'm enjoying this new ability, by the way. I can just run through water now. Oh, that is so good. That saves so much time. I go and see the Watchtower cat about that water dragon. He marks it on my map and I go back towards the lake I had just crossed 5 seconds ago to find I had somehow missed the dragon here. I defeat it quickly, of course. But the next Watchtower says a dragon is beyond the mountains and I will need to learn how to fly. Right, a flying cat. Indeed, I do see that dragon. It's in this mountain range, and if I zoom out I can see quests in the northeast, the only place I haven't visited. And my hunch was correct, someone there can teach me how to fly. I find another magic temple here and I learn my favorite spell, which is Cat Trap. I lay a trap and if I'm smart about this, I can keep enemies on the trap by moving around them, dealing maximum damage. In Windmew City, I pick up a quest called The Flying Bush, and indeed I then talk to a talking bush, who says it has memories of flight and being so much more, but now is just a chattering bush. It senses something special close by that it has lost. With that special something, it may get some more memories back. I dispense of all the creatures in this cave and I dig out a strange gem. With this gem, the bush feels its memories are returning. The clouds in its hair, sun on its wings, it's glorious. It sounds like the bush may have been some kind of flying creature. It needs us to power up the gem for him. The giant tree in Windmew has power emanating from it, so we could do it there. We go and ask the tree if it could lend us some of its powers to charge this magical orb. And a few moments later, the orb has been charged. But before I get back to the bush, a rogue mage comes in fast, snatches the orb and vanishes. God damn it. After I chase them, I lose the trail and that magical orb. I go and ask the bush, and it has amazing observation skills because it knows where they are. The trail leads me to a cave called the End of the Road. I was just about to go inside when a mage actually shows himself. Alright, so... whoa. I'm sure that dragon bug won't find me here. Well, I'm standing right in front of you, my friend. The mage says I slay dragons and I don't deserve anything of theirs, and it belongs with the dragon worshipper clan. Some things can only be solved with violence, and I take back what is mine. I also have a look at this cave. Level 99. End of the road. I see, so this is probably the most difficult thing in the game or something. I have a quick peek inside and I say to myself, I definitely need to come back to visit this when I'm level 99. About halfway there, I return this powered gem to the bush. Its memories are returning and I get a glimpse of what it once was. It reveals a story that the dragons visited this place a long time ago. They had great power. The old masters begged them to learn. The dragons were kind and shared their magic, and in return, the masters promised to help the dragons in their times of need. Years later though, the dragons returned here for refuge from their own dangerous world, but they were not welcome. The Dragon War commenced. He was stripped of his powers and trapped as a bush for centuries. The dragon blood slayed all of his brethren. I need to prepare myself. I engage in epic combat with the dragon, feeling slightly guilty about how he was treated in the past. The cats may have been quite the assholes in times gone by. Spirit concludes that maybe not all dragons are evil. This seems true, but this thought is quickly lost when I learn how to fly. So I try out flight a few moments later. Oh, there we go. Looks like I can fly anywhere I can fly anywhere I want to. That is amazing. Okay, cool. Let's just land over here. Ooh, geez, what's all this? Pirate Guide. I then learn Astropole from this other temple, another spell I will never use. I look at this Pirate Stone guide, which gives me some directions to find some treasure that I'm really keen for. First things first, I need to slay this dragon here, and I really make use of my cat trap spell on this occasion. So that's all of the dragons, and it's time to get my sister back. Speaking of which, Drakov telepathically communicates with me. If I want to get her back, I need to go to where it all began, which is at the coastline near the capital. Instead of doing that, I go treasure hunting and memorize these directions as best I can. The first landmark is this oddly shaped stone. I've never seen anything like this before in the game. The directions eventually take me to the sea in the northwest, but I don't see any treasure here. I do see a level 0 cave that's hidden away here. Level 0 for a reason. I literally find a crappy helmet in this cave. I also come across invisible enemies. A lot of invisible enemies, and not really sure how I need to do this cave, because if I'm going to clear it, I need to kill everything inside. I also find a moving chest that tries to kill me. I will come back later. My partner came in clutch by saying I had to be walking on water to discover this hidden treasure. I get the Gentle Bro shirt, which is quite nice. What's also nice to think about is this level 99 quest called Forbidden History. I guess I'll come back to this later. I'm exploring with my flight and I see a few cheeky islands south of the mainland that have some quests on them, but of course I have my sister I need to rescue. Apparently I need to go here. I speak of the devil, there she is not. Well, she's not here, but Drakov most certainly is. Then he's not. And then he's here twice as much as before. After defeating what was probably clones of himself, he congratulates me on getting so strong. He says the time has come to head to the frozen pool where my sister awaits me. I was keen for this, but Sperry believes I need to get stronger, so sure, I guess we can do that. He knows a place. He takes me to a dragon tomb and we should clear it out. Sure, Spiri? But turns out he wanted me to meet his grandpa, who's now outside. We tell Mustache Spiri we need to get stronger, and he says, well, for that we need to know about the old masters. Remember that face rock from before? This is an old master. Wait, so humans are in the world? Alias was an old master, wasn't he? And he created the Dragon Bloods. So they used to live in this world, I think. I get taken to the void again. The masters talk about the Dragon War ending, but there's still a problem with Alias. The Dragon Bloods have grown too powerful, and Alias is unwilling to seal away his creations. They call him a traitor and suspect what he seeks, that he wants to usurp the throne with his dragon blood. They all come to an agreement, and it's to let the Zero Dimension be opened. So Alias was an old master and he created the Dragon Bloods. Dracoth appears in the next vision. Master Alias has been betrayed. He conveys this message to a bunch of Dragon Blood cats, that Alias is in the Zero Dimension. How do we rescue him? They ask. Power. We need more power, Dracoth says. And when I approach him, he says, perhaps you are powerful enough. After this vision, we are given dragon shards, which we can take to Kit Kat for a weapon upgrade. I'm all for a new weapon, so I go visit Kit right away. Now I'm not joking, it's about 15 seconds later and she's whipped up this for me. She says it'll get a lot stronger if I bring it to a place with natural power. So I take it to the middle of Felongard Lake, fight off a swarm of monsters, and then I get a significant upgrade with that weapon. Oh wow. Wow, okay. Are you serious? Okay, so it makes you significantly stronger, but it takes 300 health. I can live with that. I then go south and I find a quest called the Golden Key. These cats say they've dropped the Golden Key in the cave to the south of them. These cats also represent the developers, by the way. Now this cave says it's level 1, which seems easy, and things do go smoothly. I'm finding a bunch of moving chests. When suddenly... Oh, wow! Okay, that didn't happen. I defeat this big boy chest on my second attempt and get rewarded with the golden key. Remember in the beginning I was coming across these golden chests in caves and I didn't have the key. Well, now I do have the key, so I spent some time revisiting some old caves where I've missed these chests before. I also find the last magical spell I need to learn called Berserk. That's one achievement crossed off my list. With this Berserk spell I do a lot more damage. First hit is 249 and then with this spell I do 398. I am strong. In fact, I think I'm strong enough to go to the frozen pool and rescue my sister now. I see Dracoth here and he says she's all mine. But she does that disappearing thing again. God damn it, Dracoth is a filthy liar. These are 3 dragons, not my sister, you filthy swine. Even 3 dragons can't stop me now. I continue to follow her inside this giant building of some sort. I go indoors, but where are we? This is the Zero Dimension, according to Dracoth. Allmate asks me if I would recognize my sister no matter what. 3 illusions appear. All kinda look the same, so I go random and I get it wrong. I try with 2. Random again and I get it wrong a second time. I do this 3 times until Dracoth stops this torture and finally blurts out, I have no sister. This was all an illusion. All of it. I needed motivation to get stronger and he gave that to me. Spirit interjects that that's enough, Dracoth. He gets it. He responds to Spirit that his job is done and he's free to go now. I'm sorry partner, but Dracoth is my master. What? It seems Spirit has always been there to make sure I followed the intended path, though he says he doesn't agree with what Dracoth is doing now. He interrupts us, saying that Alias will soon be free. Only blood from a powerful being can open the Zero Dimension. It seems I fit that description. And now, let's fight for real. I get ganged up by 3 Dracoths, which I easily dispose of. Even Dracoth is surprised at my accumulated power. He won't stop though. Alias had made him a promise to always be there for them. He will make him keep that promise. He goes berserk and we go ham with another round. It's much closer this time, but I eventually come out on top. He seems incredibly displeased. It took him centuries to find another dragon blood like himself. Whoever falls in this fight, the Zero Dimension will accept and open regardless, and Alias will be free. A fight to the finish it is then. Well, it was almost finished anyways. I give him one final back pull and he falls, defeated. Even at death's door, he utters alias will be free. The zero dimension starts to rumble and open with this offering. I run while I can. Whatever was sealed in the zero dimension is also free now. Let us address the elephant in the room. Spirit asks for my forgiveness. My guy has never said a single word. That's the kindest thing any cat's ever said to me. So apparently all is forgiven. So now it's me and Spirit. Let's carry on. I run into another clone of Drakov that has been left behind in case he died. It seems he had some parting words for me if that was the case. I'm taken to Drakov's lair, where he slept on that cute little bed and made some notes on this cute little table. These are his notes on the zero dimension. I shall never be forgiven for what I'm about to do. I'll do anything to free Alias, even become a villain. Poor guy seemed to be determined. I get a prompt that new game has been unlocked. Now I've completed 100% of the main storyline of Cat Quest, but there are still things left that I want to do before I feel I've experienced everything this game has to offer. I have a look at my achievements. There are 4 more in particular that I want to complete. I want to do all the quests, obtain all the armors in the game, clear all the dungeons, and reach level 99. Then we get to these 6 achievements that are related to the Mew game. These involve playing the game again, several times in fact, but with restrictions, such as playing it naked, or playing it with stronger enemies, or limiting yourself to dying just 9 times, because you're a cat. I did some research, and the quickest way to getting these 6 achievements is replaying the game 4 more times. I'm not really interested in playing the game 4 more times. I'm gonna pass on these. For now, I make sure I clear every single dungeon I can find and loot every single chest and every golden chest that I find, as this will tick off some achievements on my list that I want. Once a dungeon is finished, it will have no icons over it, meaning it is cleared. I also finish up any quests I have missed. For example, there's this quest about missing armor for the king. The trail leads me to this giant ice dragon who's asking for a backhand. The cat traps make short work of him, and I present this stolen armor to the king, who in his generosity gives the armor to me. The stats are pretty nice. What's not nice is this 200 cave that scared me a little. Maybe later. 200? Are you serious? Did you know there was a level 200 cave in the game, babe? Is that actually 200? As I'm grinding out caves and doing the odd quest here and there, I see something at the very northeast of the map. So I fly myself over there and I see it's a potato farm. On this billboard I see a bunch of complaints. It's about kitties getting sick from eating these potatoes, that they need to cook them and not eat them raw. I ask Old Mate here about these complaints. This conversation is strange and this cat makes very curious woofing noises instead of meowing. His farm is the only potato farm. He says he had them in a soup. It tasted woof-tastic and he wanted to share it, so I take one. Conveniently, I run into Puss from Port City back across the body of water, and he's just about to put up a lab in this area. I give him this potato and I ask if he can investigate it. Now he says this potato requires a certain soil to grow. Soil not found in Felongard. In fact, it's from the Lupus Empire, those bloody dogs. In fact, potatoes are harmful to cats and the dogs know this, unless they are cooked of course. Something like this could stir up another war, and we have such a fragile truce with them as it is. So I go to give that dog posing as a cat a piece of my mind. I was right, a fake cat head. It was most definitely a dog. He left a note though. Curiosity kills the cat will only appear if Cat Quest gets popular enough. Woof. Funny enough, I have Savior of the Cats. Oh, there we go. Completed all 62 side quests. Beautiful. I do have Cat Quest number 2, so that one will come out after this one. So there you go. Stay tuned for Cat Quest 2 in the near future. And yes, that was the achievement for doing all the side quests in the game. I still have the dungeons, armor pieces, and level 99 to go. Nice, 71. Speaking of leveling, I finally had the audacity to take on one of these flying skulls in the Forbidden Fields. They are still red skulls to me, meaning they are much higher level than me, and for good reason. When I kill one, I get over 7,000 XP, and that's just for one. I think I found my method to power leveling quickly. In fact, I kill a bunch and level all the way to 82 for now. Even though I finished all the side quests and the main quest line, I still have this quest called the Forbidden History. Apparently I have to be level 99 for this. Now what about that 200 cave I saw? And the 200 cave. I don't believe this 200 cave. I think that's bull. So I'm gonna see what happens now if I go there. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a go right now. Inside I see one innocent little hedgehog and a few moving chests. Is that right? kill me. Right, so not as difficult as what I thought, but I reckon that's doable. I reckon that is definitely doable. My second attempt, my cat trap placement was near perfect, and after a few short moments, I killed that innocent hedgehog. And with this golden chest, I have unlocked the achievement for all 66 armors and weapons. That is beautiful. And seeing as I can do this 200 dungeon at level 86, I'm definitely going for those 99 ones. Like this end of the road one, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Now remember this secret cave I was in before and there were these invisible enemies in here? So the trick here is I have to kill these guys with magic. There is a lot of them and I run out of mana, and I can only get mana back when I hit something I can see. In comes the only visible enemy, a single chest I can use to regain my mana. I've got to be careful because this guy one-shots me. I make sure not to kill him because if I lose sight of him, he can get all his health back. Thus, I can keep coming back to him and regenerating my mana for the invisible creatures. I eventually kill the last one. Ah, there we go. Cleared all 52 dungeons. Beautiful. So that is my second last achievement. But what about this Forbidden History quest? Apparently there are scary roars coming from the fields. It's alright people, it's just a silly little dragon who thought it was a good idea to take me on. In fact, I have to take on an ice one and a purple one as well. Pretty much the dragons I've been fighting in the game thus far. I fight one last dragon spirit or something, and I'm rewarded with a few armor pieces. The champion armor, the champion helmet, and the savior sword. I like the armor set, but I'm going to keep that dragon sword because it's boss. So this is the final goal for me, and it's to max out my character to level 99. I'm already in the Forbidden Fields, so I kill some more floating dragon heads. I can take on several at a time now, and in no time at all. Oh, this might be one. There you go. Level 99 has been reached. Super Cat Venturer. I'm a Super Cat Venturer. We can see all the achievements I wanted to get are here, done and dusted, excluding the Mew game stuff, because I'm not replaying the game 4 more times for those other 6 achievements. For a bit of a laugh, I put on some monk looking stuff, and my cat is super powerful now. This is ultimate perfection. Well, I have to test this out now, don't I? So I do this test, and guess what? I hit level 100. Well, looks like you can go even further. Actually, you can continue leveling. There you go, that's a nice round number. Instead of 100 days, it's 100%. I got to 100% in this cat game. There you go. One for all and all for one. Cheers, Musketeers. Indeed, that is a wrap up. If you like this, make sure to do so and show your support and stay tuned. I will be making a video for Cat Quest 2 next. If that video isn't showing up now, how about checking out this 300 days Stardew Valley video? What about an epic Graveyard Keeper video? Or 100 days in Traveler's Rest? Until next time, one for all and all for one. Cheers, Musketeers.